The couple in apartment 10 had been fighting for several days. This was not a rare occurrence for the two. The neighbors in the complex did their best to ignore them. However, Grace, she knew that this was not their ordinary bickering. She had been watching them ever since she had moved in. Men always want to be a woman's first love, she mumbled under her breath. As quickly as it started, the fight was over, and a silence of sadness and relief came over the building. After a few awkward beats, Grace walked out her door to investigate. Just a few steps from her apartment, a key was at her feet. Several days had passed, and Grace saw the man frequently. However, she kept the discovery of the key a secret, not sure if it would upset him or not. Finally, today, she was going to return his key. She went out of her apartment and waited a few moments before mustering up the courage to knock at the door. She knocked quietly at first. No response. Then a little louder. Still no response. And then before she could think twice about what she was doing, she unlocked the door and walked in. She tiptoed across the apartment gingerly, being sure not to disturb the empty soda cans and other trash strewn about. Minutes later, she swept herself up and quickly realizing where she was and what she was doing. As the days went on, Grace found herself spending more time in the apartment. She imagined it was her own and she was waiting for him to come back home. She knew the place like the back of her hand, where he kept his change, his favorite cologne. She even knew his occupation was a linguist after prying through his personal documents. She found herself slowly drifting off to sleep. And what seemed like only seconds later, she awoke startled to the jingling of keys in the door. She scooped herself up and darted into the closet, where she watched him lovingly, but also in fear and in silence. He walked himself in and sat on the couch. It was several minutes before he went to sleep, and she came out to take care of him, as if he knew she was there all the time. As she left the key in his hand, she whispered, "Women like to be a man's last romance," in hopes that he would find her one day.